I'm John.
I'm Preston.
So, just to recap, the episode starts out right away, very interesting, at least to me anyway. Some leaves are blowing in the wind, and like one just kind of stops and just walks along the little branch and just whoop and flies off. What was interesting to me though was two things. One, the leaves I think are showing that the spirit wilds and everything are alive. I'll say it right now. This will come in later. I think it's a spirit. That's all I'm going to say for right now. Two, the symbol on the back of the leaf looked kind of like, didn't not exact, but looked kind of like the symbol on Rava. Rava has a diamond shape. I guess you can call it the eye of Rava. A diamond shape with a little dot in the middle. This one had like a circle, or like an oval with a dot, and like two little lines going up and down on the bottom and top. And that's it.
I have no comment on the leaf spirit.
Okay, then it jumps to Prince Wu explaining just how his coronation is going to go, and he's has all these expectations and everything. He's doing this dance, very funny. It was actually the clip they showed before the episode aired, like a week before the episode aired. That was the clip they showed. It's funny. Tenzin kind of finally brings up the whole. I heard Kuvira is throwing her people in prison camps, and Raiko's just like, well, it doesn't matter because she's stepping down tomorrow. She gave me her word. Yeah,
she'll be stepping down tomorrow.
So I believe it. No need to be worried about this warlord. Raiko asked about Korra, and Tenzin said he has airbenders all over the world looking for her.
Except for the swamp.
Except for the swamp, apparently. Yeah, no one's found her. Unless she, like, leaves the swamp or something. I don't know.
Although...
And then it kind of jumps to Korra and Toph in the swamp, and Korra's just, immediately asking her for her help. Get her back into Avatar fighting shape. Because she says she keeps getting beat by losers. Which is totally true.
Yeah.
It's funny because Toph's like, nobody needs you. Nobody needs the Avatar. And just like going on about how like when she was a cop, like
streets are the faces change, but the streets are always the same. She's basically saying that it doesn't really matter what she did. There were always another bad guy who came up.
I mean, it's totally true. You can't fix all the world's problems all the time. I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to get at is Toph's kind of like unorthodox way of teaching, and the way she goes about things. It's like she gives you exactly what you need. Toph is just really smart and really wise. So, and I think everything she did, like I was telling you, I was watching my brother, and he was like, "Man, Toph is just so mean." It's like, no, she's doing this. She knows what she's saying. She's doing exactly what
she needs to help Korra.
She's like, well, I was going to soak my feet for 2 weeks in mud, but I'm just tired of seeing you being so pathetic and getting your butt kicked all the time. I might as well help you. So the next scene is a pretty long one. Kuvira, Bolin, pretty much everybody
we've ever seen in the show, pretty much.
Well, not everybody, but
every 90%. No.
Yeah. Everybody gets to kind of all join up at this, the Hotel Four Elements. They're all just kind of like, coming in and getting their room keys and getting their luggage and everything, and they're all kind of just talking to each other. Really funny, really interesting.
Some very humorous conversations with Eska.
First thing, Bolin sees Eska, and oh my gosh, like
basically shrieks like a little girl. No.
He's like, "Hello, Republic!" Ah! Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only time we saw Desmond and Eska before this was in book 3, like in the very beginning, and like they got taken out pretty quickly by
when they were fighting, they got
by Minghua. But what I'm getting at though is like we didn't really get to see them after that point,
No.
and now it's like 3 years later. They're just at this hotel, you know. They really had nothing really important to say.
They weren't even really needed in that.
They weren't really. It was like, oh, they're still alive, or oh, there they are. And
we had Batar talk to Sue.
Sue just disapproves of Kuvira
For the most part, yeah.
and therefore disapproves of her son joining her forces
And marrying her.
and marrying. Well, they're not married yet.
Or, well, yeah. Engaged to
her. Yeah, there's just some heated words between the two. This argument is brought up pretty early on in the episode. You know, it's like, who would you rather prefer, Kuvira or Wu? You know, and it's kind of like a reoccurring conversation throughout the episode. We get a little conversation between
Wu and Kuvira.
And you know, Wu is just being Wu. You're pretty easy on the eyes. Kuvira doesn't say anything.
He can get their room bumped up or something like that.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I don't need your help. We just booked the presidential suite." He's like, "What? I'm in the presidential suite?" And they're like, "No." It's like Kuvira just gets whatever she wants, and she actually says that. She's like, "There's something you should know about me. I get whatever I want." And she like has this little menacing little smile, like it's like
it foreshadows what's about to happen with Wu. You almost feel bad for him at that scene alone.
Yeah, you know, if I didn't think Wu was such a freaking idiot, I would feel bad for him. Oh, we learned that Varric was pardoned.
Yeah.
Again, because Kuvira forced Raiko
to pardon
him. It's like Kuvira just freaking just goes around doing whatever she wants. But
we had all his attendants come in before the coronation. That was kind of a funny scene where he has none of his royal artifacts left.
Yeah, they've all
been stolen except for the royal brooch.
It's not a brooch; it's actually an earring, but they call it a brooch.
It's more manly that way.
Yes, apparently. Yeah, so you know, Wu's just really upset about not having the crown, not really having anything. It's not turning out the way he
envisioned
it, and this kind of is the prelude to what the coronation will actually be like. So the next scene is, again, we go back to Korra and Toph in the swamp, and
Toph beating the tar out of Korra.
I don't know if Korra is gotten any better at all since her last fight.
Probably not. But
wait, she's doing a little bit of airbending. I think exclusively airbending. She might have earthbended once.
Earthbend and waterbend. She had a way better too.
Oh, that's right. And Toph is just not even
doing
anything.
Look at her, but
she's just standing there with her hands behind her back, just really seemed very relaxed and just moving, like sliding and dodging around the attacks, dodging the air attacks, which is
very impressive feat. I don't understand it, but
Korra is still rooted in the ground before she does her attacks. I want to see Korra in her when she's back at full strength. I want to see her fight Toph. I don't think we're going to see that unless she gets better
while in the swamp.
With Toph.
Just do that scene, but I don't think so.
I don't think that's going to happen. We might see more scenes with her fighting or something. I don't know. But I would love to see. I mean, Toph is just so much better than Korra, I think, anyway. Like, she was so much better than everybody, even when she was a kid. Toph, again, just showing her wisdom and things. It's like, after Korra just gets her butt handed to her so just easily. I mean, Korra's just like, she gets knocked in this puddle. She's just like, it's just not even, she just gives up. She's laying there in a puddle. It's just so pathetic. Which Toph does say, pathetic, You gotta love Toph and how tough she is.
Yeah.
I mean, even this old granny, she's just laying the smackdown, and she's not even. She still seems the same. She doesn't feel obviously she's a lot better at bending. She's way more advanced, which is crazy to think because she was super advanced in the original series. She tells Korra, she's like, what were you doing wrong? She's like, well, I was thinking. She was like, that's what it was. You were thinking, and it's like, don't think. It's kind of a rest in the fight, and Toph talks about how Korra asks Toph, why did you disconnect yourself from everything? And then she's like, I'm more connected than you've ever been.
Yeah, and she describes the swamp being connected to all of the world, which...
This goes back to the original series where the guru was like, or Hugh, who was the guru in the swamp, everything is connected. We're all connected. The guru, Patik, also said the same thing in the second to last episode of Book 2. It's like the swamp, its roots and vines have traveled throughout the entire world. The most interesting thing is that it seems like Toph is not using earthbending to see, like she says, oh, I can see Zaofu, I can see Republic City, I can see my daughters. It's like she can see all these things happening just from the swamp, and it's not earthbending. It's like that. It wasn't waterbending either. I thought it was waterbending that Aang did when he touched the tree root. I thought he was using waterbending, but it's more like some type of spiritual connection with this spiritual thing. It's like he was able to see Appa and where Appa was in the swamp. It was a quick little moment that he never used again in any other part of the series. I think it was like just one tree like growing in, because Hugh, he said the swamp is just one organism. It's just one tree that took root, and the branches grew, and it took root and spread, and took root and spread. And it's like Korra, it's like Toph gets done saying, I see everything. And then Korra's like, she gets this little smirk on her face, and she's like, gets secret waterbending going.
For some reason, she thinks this will work.
I don't know. Like, you gotta love Korra for doing this though, because like, it's so much like her attitude where she thinks like, oh, I can do it. Like she's gotta try it. I love that. I love that about her.
But of course, it doesn't work though.
Not even close. And then she smacks her with mud. Which I'm guessing that seems more realistically not lethal to smack someone in the head with mud.
The rock,
instead of a rock
or metal.
Yeah. So I'm glad she was using mud. But she's like, you're blind compared to me, and I'm like, that's awesome. Toph is not even remotely blind.
No,
not even blind at all.
Unless it's flying in the air, so there's like nothing she can't see.
Yeah, she sees way more than anybody else. So we finally get to see the coronation. And it's a beautiful coronation.
Yeah.
He puts the ring on his shirt. The royal brooch.
The royal brooch, yes.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
And then, Wu's like, yeah, that was a good little coronation.
Very short, but nice coronation.
But I can't be here without, thanks to Kuvira. And then he puts this medal on her, the Medal of Freedom.
Yes, very symbolic.
Yes. And Kuvira's like, oh, I want to say a few words. And she basically just says, Wu has no power because I have united all of these states, Earth Kingdom states.
And I don't trust him to keep them that way, so
right.
That's the rationale she gives behind it.
Right. So she says, I am creating my own Earth Empire. And she's self-appointed.
Again, I'm trying not to make any Star Wars references right now. I really am.
You are completely allowed to make Star Wars references because you cannot keep yourself from making Star Wars references. Empire.
Emperor.
Swamp. Off in the swamp is freaking Yoda.
I know. We got stormtroopers coming out. We've got...
All Korra needs is a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And all Kuvira needs is the Death Star. Which...
She makes this address literally in front of all of the world leaders, which to me is completely crazy, but she does it and gets away with it. And
they're all sitting there. Tenzin, Zuko, Zuko's daughter, which is the Fire Lord, Eska and Desna, Raiko, they're all there, just watching Wu get crowned king. Kuvira stands up, tells everybody to go.
Don't mess with me, or I will crush you.
I will crush you, and she crushes that medal of freedom.
No symbology in that at all.
Not even close. And then I guess walks off.
Yeah, nobody ever. She just walks off fine. No repercussions for that at all. Makes it back to the presidential suite with no problems.
Bolin's sitting there. He's kind of worried.
Talking with Varric, like, this wasn't the best play. Wait, I didn't know anything about this. Why didn't I know what we were about to do?
I like what Varric says,
Yeah.
though. Oh,
Yeah.
what were you going to say?
That was pretty much what I was about to go.
Oh, yeah, I like what Varric says, though, because he's like, this, what does he say? This train has left.
Yeah.
This train has left the station, and we own the track. You know? He mentions that Republic City
is dying for the metal that they
dying for the ore and metal that they own. They pretty much have taken over all this Earth Kingdom land, and then probably started mining all this ore out of the land. Kuvira comes in there, and I mean, you're like, okay, it's cool that Bolin's like doing more stuff and everything, but it's like he's so gullible.
He's always the sap. He's always the sap in every single season. He's the sap. Like this time, I can actually kind of see him being the sap for this one, though, at least.
Yeah. It's funny that Kuvira says conflict is the last thing she wants.
Yeah. Right after she threatened the entire world.
Yeah, I mean, well, she's like, oh, that was some tough rhetoric, It's like,
it's just we just needed to say that so that.
Yeah, it's like, okay. I wonder what Kuvira's endgame is,
Like, we don't know that really yet. I mean,
is it just to
be the world? Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think it's even a world leader. She just wants Earth Empire.
Yeah, I don't know. It has to be something a little bit more menacing than that, though, Because it's not a big enough problem for... Honestly, it's not even a problem that to be honest, if you ask me, that the Avatar would even have to face.
Kuvira is going to have to either want more, where she starts bleeding into other people's territory, other people's stuff. Right now, she just wants the Earth Kingdom. Yeah. The entire Earth Kingdom. I guess she owns Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, she must. That's probably the first one, actually. So, yeah, I'm sure she does own Ba Sing Se.
But how does that happen, though?
Well, that's where they would have started consolidating power from.
But who signed the documents for that one?
Nobody. She just took it, that one.
Okay. She still needs to go after Zaofu, which she does say to Sue.
Yeah, in that argument they have, which we might want to discuss that before we actually get to that.
I mean, okay, so Sue comes in and she's like, I'm here as a representative for the other world leaders. I'm like, why the crap is not Tenzin and Zuko and Raiko
or just a bunch of armed guards taking her into prison
anything other than Su Yin walking in? I mean, Su Yin, I'm sure she could fight if she needed to.
Yeah, we've seen her fight if she needed to.
She had no desire to walk in and arrest Kuvira. She's like...
No. Give her a stern talking to.
I believe you should step down.
Yeah. We believe you should step down.
You can't help. It's kind of like Azula. It's like, even though Azula was like so evil, you're like, yeah, man, she's freaking awesome. It's like, that's kind of how I see Kuvira. It's like,
if nothing else, they like brought it on themselves because they even knew that she was doing some shady operations and did nothing to stop her, which you made mention of in the review. I mean, they did nothing. They brought this on themselves, they really did, and then they don't even have the gall to actually do anything after she does it. Like, what's coming is their own fault.
Exactly. So, I mean, Kuvira brought up a good point, she's like, while, the Earth Kingdom, Ba Sing Se was in disarray, you did nothing.
Yeah.
She's like, I stepped up, I took charge, I'm bringing stability and equality, and what are you doing? Nothing. And then Lynn's like, or Sue's like, oh, I didn't want to seize power for myself, which is something you did.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, but you did nothing after that, though, either. Like, you knew that Kuvira was taking over and doing all this crap. Why didn't you nip it in the bud? Why didn't you stop her before it got too serious? Why didn't you take other metal benders in there? Why didn't you take other people in there? I'm sure Zaofu is still a functioning city.
Yeah.
I'm sure she still has many metal benders at her disposal. Why did she not stop her?
Yeah, it boggles the mind how it got this far and nobody cared enough to do something about it. I mean, apparently they honestly believed her word.
Well, Raiko, I don't know about Raiko.
Raiko, I think he's a politician and I think he'll side with her, but...
yeah. Whatever's gonna,
whatever does the best for him.
Yeah, for Republic City. I can't blame Tenzin.
No.
Really, I mean, I kind of want to, but I mean, Tenzin has to deal with so much.
He had so much. I mean, he has his whole nation to rebuild. Not only that, his whole nation is acting as peacekeepers for the entire world. He's got a lot on his plate, and I can actually excuse Tenzin in this particular instance. Every other world leader, Has no excuse for
I can't excuse Zuko or his daughter.
No.
Mostly Zuko, though, because his daughter's running the country. Zuko can go do other things. He clearly took an interest in the Red Lotus.
Yeah. And he apparently cared enough about Wu to be there at the coronation. There was some investment from the Fire Nation to see Wu take the throne.
Yeah, they can't just say something like, Kuvira gave her word that she was going to step down. That's so stupid.
Well, a person's word is good. Good as gold. Sozin or anything like that yet.
She doesn't seem evil.
Not yet. Not really. She seems a little power hungry. I can't really fault her, though. So far, she hasn't shown anything that's truly... Maybe the, I'll let a train run over you if you don't join me thing was a little...
It's tough rhetoric.
It's just tough rhetoric we need to say to get them to join us.
Get us to do whatever we want them to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when you're intimidating, and you have that reputation, it's pretty powerful. You don't have to do a lot.
No?
Most of the time, Azula would have other people fighting for her.
Yeah,
and she just would stand there and just smirk, It's like that's kind of how I see Kuvira. It's like it's very similar.
Except she actually did go do the fighting herself.
Yeah, she actually stepped out there. She was like, I just don't understand why, other people were not aware, why Sue did not speak to Tenzin about this, why she did not speak to other people about this.
I don't know why. Maybe it'll come up in the next episode. But how does Kuvira threaten your city and you not do anything about it? Like, she actually just literally came out and said, well, then you know what's coming for Zhao Fu. Come on.
Well, to be fair, I mean, that was kind of a cliffhanger for her storyline for that.
I know.
For this episode. It's very possible.
I'm still arresting the crap out of her. I'm sorry. There's no way she's getting out of the city without, taking out most of the city.
I guess as long as she's not really committing any crimes.
Like, usurping an entire empire.
Define,
any of those crimes.
Define usurping.
Taking out the rightful ruler.
Really, all she did was just kind of get the people to side with her, more or less.
Yeah, but that doesn't make her rule right. Not in a legal sense of the word.
If everybody...
But then again, what does make it right is that none of the world leaders did anything about it. But that whole scene, that is the most confusing scene in the entire series season so far as to how did she pull this off.
I don't know. It's not the best... It's not the best part of the whole story. No. Especially since they're basing the whole conflict around it.
And we have no idea why this conflict got this far.
It's like 3 years of her doing this, but...
Nobody took an interest in stopping, maybe checking in once in a while.
I blame Su Yin the most.
Yeah.
Because she seemed to be the most aware of what was going on. And she had the power to actually do something about it.
Yeah.
Still has the power to do something about it.
For how much longer, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Probably next episode, I'm assuming.
Yeah, or sometime after.
Yeah. Basically, Wu, his solution is to go shopping.
It doesn't look like it's done anything to change Wu yet at all.
All about fashion and having a good time, and that's all that really matters. And that's really all that he would have been doing as king anyway.
And that's actually what Raikou said, pretty much. He said, we have royal advisors that will take care of all the day-to-day governing. So he was literally just a figurehead anyway, regardless of how this turned out.
You kind of think about the original series and how that Earth King was. Hao Ting seemed a little bit more... She seemed a little bit more, in control of her.
Actually, she seemed
kingdom.
Outright in control, actually, to be honest.
But she was screwed up, too.
Oh, she was messed up in the head, and, she was wrong in a lot of ways, but she was actually governing the kingdom. And not well.
Yeah.
But she was governing it until she choked to death.
Yes. But you think about how the Earth King was, and Long Feng, how he just pretty much controlled everything, the Dai Li, and that allowed Azula to come in and basically just take advantage of that whole situation.
And really, they were setting up for another one of those. They really were.
Yeah. If Kuvira had been the Earth Queen or whatever at the time, and Azula came in, that crap would not have been going down at all. Kuvira is right about not having this figurehead with a big team of advisors. You gotta have somebody who knows what the crap they're doing and is taking an interest
in the actual people and the actual governing of the city. Now, obviously, we know that she's the villain, or at least the main threat.
Kuvira's enemy is herself.
Yeah.
She's gonna eventually be so power hungry that she's gonna reveal to everybody else that that's what she is, and that she's gonna be taken down by her own greed and own lust for power. Korra might also take her down too, possibly, but
And
I
Wu
mean,
might take her down.
maybe. So, Bolin comes to talk to Mako. So when Mako finally does ask the question, so are you still on Kuvira's side after she basically went against all the world leaders' decisions for the Earth Kingdom? And he's like, yeah, she's doing good, and
She's feeding babies.
she's doing all this stuff. And I love Bolin's point of, he's like, this whole scene was really good actually,
It was, yeah.
but he's like, she's just like Korra, and Mako kind of gets this like.
That is that. You gotta be kidding me?
He's like, no, Bolin, no. And it's like, he's just repeating everything that Kuvira said to him. He's just saying, oh, it's just.
It sounded like to me like he's trying to reassure himself that he's actually right. I think he's still questioning. I don't think that she actually bought his loyalty with that,
But I also think that Bolin does kind of know what he's talking about as far as like all the good.
Yeah, I believe he believed that they're still doing good. He's just starting to question maybe she's just going about it wrong. I don't think he is questioning whether he should be with her yet, helping her, but I think it's like, maybe she's a little bit wrong in certain areas.
There's these clear-cut two sides happening right now.
Yeah, it's literally the argument that we're having.
Yeah, it's Wu or Kuvira, and you got Opal, disappointed in Bolin.
Yep.
You got Mako disappointed in Bolin.
It sucks to be Bolin right now.
It kind of sucks to be Bolin. Everybody you care about is going to hate you. Courtney's coming and just smack him in the head.
Yep.
Get over here. I said this earlier. I wish Kuvira's thing was more gray.
Yeah, it's not quite gray enough.
It's not. It's too clear cut. Her little evil smirks. Her little things about look out, Zafu. It's like.
Yeah. But I mean, they don't have time. That's the biggest issue they have. They just don't have time.
It's like they either just have to, but it makes that argument a little bit one-sided too.
It does, because we know how it's going to end. We have to know how it's going to end.
Wu is going to. This is kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but it's like I think Wu is going to get. He's going to finally step up and become the leader he's supposed to be.
I kind of think so too. Yeah, I think he'll actually.
Korra just saying, this is a hilarious little scene.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just like. That was terrible, referring to all the fighting they did that day. Which I don't know if there was like more fighting that was done.
There must have been more fighting because that wasn't that bad. She's been beaten worse than that.
Yeah, and she's just like,
and
she's
just
like,
kept throwing me around.
You kept throwing me around like a rag doll all day. And Toph's just like, I know, and I'm an old lady. It's like,
it really brings back the old Toph that we used to love from the Avatar. That's like her all over again. It's literally what she would have said in that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine me in my prime.
If she was young,
she would have destroyed you.
She would have been just, she would have been just like, I beat you, and I'm just a little kid. It's like, she was really fun.
Imagine me in 10 years.
Yeah. Exact same thing. I love it. Toph is so cool. And then Korra's just like, I don't understand. I'm like a step slower. I'm off beat. I'm off sync. All this stuff. And then we get the big okay moment. Toph's like, well, I would feel that way too if I was carrying around all that metal. What metal? You can't sense metal in your own body? All that metal poison, which I guess the term mercury is not a thing in this world.
It's not, so we're not going to call it mercury.
Apparently, Toph already knows.
Plus, we don't technically know it's mercury.
I guess, but she generalizes it as metal poison.
Yeah, no.
So it's like, so she's like, well, you got to get this metal out of me. That's my problem. That's my issue. You got to get this out. And she's like, can you do it? She's like, who do you think you're talking to? I love Toph can just like.
Manhandle
Korra. I mean, she's this little old lady. I mean, okay, she's always been tough, even when she was 12. She could like push Zuko and Sokka over. I mean, and I mean, Korra, you know, she's
not a small woman by any wild
she's not.
stretch.
No, she's very, very built, very muscular. So to see this little frail, little short old lady,
Shove her right out the way.
it's awesome. I feel like Toph is just gonna live to be like 200 years old or something. She's like so freaking.
The next Avatar will learn from her.
Probably that'd be awesome. Goodness.
He's an earthbending Avatar too.
There you go.
That will be awesome. And we go to Little Boss Sing Se.
Little Boss Sing Se. Well, they had to go there because, you know,
That's where the smoothies were.
that's where the smoothies were, and Wu promised to buy Mako a smoothie.
To make him feel
Help him
better.
feel better about the argument that, you know.
We missed that point. It's a very important point. We should have brought up. That's our bad.
What point?
That he promised to get him a smoothie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't believe we forgot.
Yeah, we really lax on our duties here.
So they're sitting there having a smoothie at this like outside restaurant or something, and these two girls walk by with these T-shirts on, and it's got Kuvira, it's like Kuvira's face on the front,
The Metal Clan symbol.
the Metal Clan symbol. Apparently, Kuvira's so cool. She's like selling T-shirts now.
Yeah, it's merchandise. Well, she does have Varric on her side, so she's a merchandising.
Yeah. I kind of feel like these are just the fans of Kuvira.
I'm sure it was,
who
yeah.
are making shirts because everybody loves T-shirts. Wu gets really angry, and you know this is kind of the start of his little breakdown, I guess.
His mental lapse right there.
Yeah, he's just kind of, I guess, finally coming to the realization
That he's never going to be king.
Yeah. So he runs over, he throws a smoothie at this guy, one of the Kuvira supporters at the booth selling shirts. And they're like, "Oh, go get him!" And Mako rushes him out of there, puts a firewall up, you know, so they can't get past, and then they get out. They come to. Wu says it's destiny.
It's the Imperial Palace.
Yeah, it's the Earth Kingdom Palace.
Yeah, that's it.
But it's actually, you know, like it's a
Buffet.
restaurant
It's
or
a-
buffet that's been converted into. It looks like the Earth Kingdom Palace. It's like a miniature of it.
He just busts in.
In like the back,
It's-
there's this little kid sitting on the throne. I guess if it's your birthday, you get to sit on the throne or something.
Dressed like the Earth King.
You got the little carry-on on, the little staff and
Cape.
and everything. And Wu walks up and just freaking takes the staff, takes the crown. He's like, "It's my birthday." He's like, "It's my coronation day, and I'm never gonna have this day.
You'll have another birthday. I'll never have this day back.
It's pathetic and sad and
funny.
ridiculous and funny all at the same time." And he sits down and he starts crying.
And you just see Mako. Yeah,
You're really losing it.
This is an extra level of crazy going on right now.
Yeah, you're out of it now. And you know, Mako kind of goes off on him a little bit, and he just talks about how, you know, if you were a citizen, would you want you
haven't done anything for your citizens in the last 3 years. Kuvira's been going around at least, helping people.
Yeah.
Even though Mako is on Wu's side as far as Kuvira should not be ruling this place, he still sees that Kuvira is actually better at it than Wu is. It's
Yeah, I mean yeah. So he's like, what have you ever done for your citizens or whatever? And then Mako takes it back. That was out of line.
That wasn't right. Yeah.
But Wu,
to his credit, and I don't know if he'll actually keep it. I'm hoping he does, but if he does, he actually seems to have let those words actually sink in to some extent, because he's like, you're right in that aspect. I haven't done anything for my people.
Yeah. It seems like he might have a change of heart in the coming episodes, and he might start to become the king that he's supposed to be.
He might actually start looking at what is plaguing his people, what the problems are, and
Wu needs to have what I was calling earlier a Zuko moment.
Yeah.
Or he needs to just have a Zuko arc. He needs to go from basically thinking that it's all about him to going through all this hardship and realizing, hey, it's not about him, and it's his responsibility to
his people,
to do right by them.
And if he does do that, he might be the usurping of Kuvira. He might take her base from her from within. That's my prediction.
I think from here on out, Mako's going to stick with Wu.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think he's going to help him. He's going to try to help. He's going to try to keep him on track. And I hope it isn't just a bunch of like
bro moments.
I hope it's not like just a bunch of relapsing, like Wu just coming back to but look, shopping, and then
you're gonna have some of those moments, but you kind of hope that it's not like he actually changes in the heart type thing. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm not really fond of this character. Otherwise,
yeah, I mean. The Earth King in Aang's day, he was so blinded. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know there was a war or anything. He was just kind of kept in the dark. And Wu is just kind of like, he's kept in the dark too, but he also doesn't really have an interest in anything that's really going on. He doesn't get it. And then I think this was his moment where he started to be like, you know what?
Maybe there is something.
There is something that I can be doing. I don't think he really quite understands everything that's going on. I don't think, like, he knows there was some danger in Ba Sing Se, but like I don't think he even sees Kuvira as like a really big threat.
No, I don't think he really even understands what actually happened, other than that he doesn't get to be king right now.
But I do think that maybe in a very selfless way we'll start changing and looking at his citizens and thinking, hey, this is my responsibility to help them and not just care about, buying things and being rich and being famous and deluded. Because like nobody likes somebody, thinks everybody loves them. It's like he's more concerned about
completely delusional person.
Toph, Korra is just kind of laying down, relaxing, getting ready for.
She says, actually, Toph says she needs to relax.
You're like a twisted tree trunk. Yeah. And she's like, I am relaxed. She's trying to pull this metal and it keeps hurting her because she's not relaxing. And then Toph, brings up this point. Maybe you don't want to be healed.
Oh yeah, after the flashbacks. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yep. Forgot about those Zahir flashbacks.
Yep.
Those good old
can't get rid of those. You gotta.
And it's the same one every time.
Yeah, it's a choking scene.
It's the choking scene where she's just about to get murdered.
Yeah.
Just laying there. And Toph's like, maybe you don't want to be healed, and she's like, what? That's crazy. Of course I want to be healed. Or why would I want poison inside of me? And she's like, I don't know. Maybe because you don't want to be the Avatar anymore.
You don't want to come into contact with something that can possibly end you again.
Yeah.
Which it really shows how wise Toph is, because I'm pretty sure she just hit that nail right on the head.
If you want the metal out, you bend it out.
Yourself.
I can't help you, or I can't deal with all your problems for you. Toph was just gonna leave her alone until Korra sorted this thing out. So she decided that this is something she actually wants.
Yeah.
Because somewhere deep down, she doesn't really fully want to come back.
Yeah.
And
hence the Dark Avatar we've been seeing.
Hence the Dark Korra, and hence the
Dark Korra. Yeah.
So I think next episode we're going to see Korra alone again.
Dark Korra.
In the swamp, and probably seeing visions, and maybe seeing some other things, possibly. And I don't think they're going to do it in one episode.
I doubt it, yeah. But
I mean, unless she has to go through even more stuff to heal. Again, the Dark Korra, when it had like the pool of mercury underneath it, was pulling her in. That kind of foreshadowed, she still had some poison in her system, so it's kind of like.
Which makes me think that I might have been right. That thing's trying to help her.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that. I pretty much agree with you actually last time that it seems dark, it seems menacing, but
it's really because she doesn't want to be the Avatar anymore. That's what it seems like.
Mm-hmm. And I mean that's something really, really deep inside internally is really telling her, I don't want to go through that again. Because I mean, even though we didn't get to see it really, she spent 2.5 years, pretty much,
just recovering from one fight.
Yeah, that almost took her life.
Yeah.
Almost ended the Avatar cycle completely.
Yeah.
She would have went down in history as the last Avatar. And
that would have been a legend, I guess. It would have fit Legend of Korra.
A Legend of Korra, doesn't it? A positive Legend of Korra.
Well,
cuts to the pagoda with Tenzin, and he's standing there saying, you had the quote down.
Yeah, there's a conflict there's a conflict coming to the Earth Kingdom.
The Earth Kingdom. Yeah. So okay, I guess we can say that someone's kind of stepping up here.
A little late, but it's the only person that I excused. So,
but also it's kind of stupid too, because he said that he had airbenders looking for Korra, but now he's like, but there's a conflict coming, so now we really need to get Korra back, you know?
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna send my kids.
Well, he's sending the best of his airbenders.
Really, the best?
Yeah, Jinora is the only master.
Well, yeah, I can see Jinora, but Iki and Milo.
Hey, Milo, he can blow snot bubbles at people.
Fart bending.
Fart bending. He can fart bend. He's the only fart bender I've ever seen.
If he had like a torch, he could fire bend too, probably.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have the kids. I'll talk about it right now. The new clip for the new episode is showing the kids leaving. So yeah, we're definitely gonna be seeing them looking for Korra and probably running into their own little adventures. So definitely looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of a, Avatar, the original Avatar group, the younger kids going around.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Iki says as much.
I don't know if they're gonna actually find Korra. I'd be very surprised if they did find Korra in the next episode.
I would be very surprised. I don't think it'll happen.
That'd be the 4th episode. I mean,
we have to kind of find her relatively soon, but I don't think it'll be next episode. I don't think it'll.
I mean, if you've seen the trailer, we do know that Korra does come back. Obviously, that'd be kind of stupid if she never came back.
The actual conflict doesn't have Korra in it at all. Korra's never even
just remains in the swamp the whole time, never recovers. More realistic. In the very last scene, it's Varric, Julie, and Kuvira in this little compartment of her super train. And
they have a piece of vine.
Which actually we did gloss over that.
Yeah, I actually meant to mention it back then, but I forgot all about the spirit vine part. Yeah.
Yeah, he does procure a specimen, a fine specimen of spirit vine. We need to stabilize that quick.
Yeah, I like the stabilize statement.
Yeah, stabilize. We see him like freaking, super like.
He was a mad scientist. He had like the glasses and everything. He had
the glasses. He had the spirit vine plugged into these wires in a glass tube. He's like plugging into this big machine. It's got wires coming out of it. Kuvira says, "This technology is your main priority," and she says, "From now on, this is your main priority." And Varric's all excited, and he's looking at it, and he's saying, "This is going to change everything." I mean, okay, so the main theories I want to talk about are, what the crap is this freaking spirit vine machine that Varric is developing? I would love to know. Well, okay, so my theories are it's some type of energy source, that they're somehow using spiritual energy from the vines as a renewable / unlimited energy source to power the train, power the mechs, power all this stuff and technology, which Kuvira said that in her little speech at the Coronation, innovation and technology are the way of the future.
Yeah.
Which, Amon kind of ushered that in. I mean, this is an age of technology.
And to be honest, as technology goes on, that is the biggest threat to the Avatar. Eventually, technology makes bending obsolete at some point.
So, you have kept this secret from me this entire time. What are your theories for this?
Actually, I didn't really keep it secret. I did tell you about the spirit thing, where I thought that they might be making, that's
spirit bomb!
No, yeah.
Oh.
We wanted to make the Dragon Ball Z reference today.
I just had to.
I gotcha. No.
Somebody, actually, that's been going on that people have been talking about
making it into a weapon of mass destruction.
Some type of weapon of mass destruction. I'm like,
but I was thinking more like making that fusion that we saw with Juan, where we had that. I don't think this is where it's going to go, but it would be kind of cool. That half plant, half human thing, where the spirit had went into him and had melded him or changed his body because it was in him too long. Something like that, but I don't honestly believe that's what's going to happen.
If things like that or along those lines happen, that is going to change everything.
Oh, that would change everything, yeah.
But like, I don't see Varric, and I certainly don't see Kuvira doing something like that. Even though they are both, or Kuvira's a bender, but Kuvira seems very much about new, innovative technology, man-made things, like not spirits, not nature. If anything, she's wanting to destroy nature, destroy the world to kind of, box it all up in metal and make it her own little, empire and nation and everything, and move forward. And it's kind of that modernizing. That's kind of always the talk of all the most wisest benders in this world. All seem to kind of come to the conclusion that they're like living in nature or living with the elements. Look at Toph, look at Zhang, look at like all those other like really wise people, Iroh, and it's like they all kind of just came to that conclusion. And it's like Kuvira is like this kind of young, innovative kind of leader, and technology is like the tool that she's using to kind of bring about change and kind of bring everybody into her world. Like, I want something like that to happen. I want something really, really crazy to happen that's going to really change everything. This device, whatever it is, this tool, this weapon, this machine, whatever it is going to be the thing that everybody's going to be fighting over, or at least is going to be the reason why Kuvira is going to be able to do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
It's going to be her, it's going to be the thing that allows her to challenge any nation and any... It's kind of weird, though, because it's like you think she would already have it,
before she starts, actually challenging everyone.
Unless Varric was, like, on the verge of...
Unless she really is Hitler, in which case, she's working on the atom bomb now. After already starting war with her.
Yeah.
Or, since we've already made several of those comparisons, she's building the Death Star right now.
I'll go to my other theory, which is time travel.
Time travel.
I had a time travel theory like pretty much since I saw the trailer. I don't know why. It's just one of those things that hit me. I was just kept thinking about time travel when I was watching the trailer. I don't know why. She's gonna do some freaking crazy Avatar thing that like no one has ever seen before. That's my prediction. That's my prediction for the whole end of the series. Like, I know you were thinking of something a little bit more, at least before this episode anyway. You were thinking of something a little bit more low key and normal.
Yeah.
For the ending.
Other than time travel? Yeah, I was thinking a little bit more.
Maybe not time travel, but
then time travel.
Well, time travel in the Avatar world is not necessarily crazy, because the Guru did say, time is an illusion, and so is death. And when they went into the swamp, that's when they learned about time was an illusion. That's when he saw a vision of Toph from the future, somebody he would meet in the future. Katara saw her mother. Sokka saw Yue, I don't know. It just seems like something really crazy is going to happen. I'm not saying like... Well, I love time travel stuff, for one thing. So if it's something with time travel and it's done in a really cool way that makes sense, then I would be all for it. Oh, that was the theory.
Really?
That the spirit energy device could somehow be used to give...
bending. Yeah, that was one of the ones, yeah.
It's very possible that the spirit vines were one of the reasons why people started becoming airbenders. And it wasn't just harmonic convergence. Like, we still don't really have a clear-cut explanation as to how that happened. Everyone's just like, oh, harmonic convergence happened, and now I'm an airbender. And it's like,
yeah.
Are we really sure that that's why? I mean, obviously something happened.
Well, obviously a lion turtle did not come in and poke everybody's head while they were sleeping. That would have probably made some news.
That would have made, that someone would have
noticed that.
I mean, it was just the episode overall was just kind of, it was a great episode. Don't get me wrong, it was a great episode. But I feel like it was just one of those kind of setup episodes again.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, now let's get to the next part. And it's like, especially with the cliffhanger at the end, I think.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you can't have Varric looking at a spirit vine in a machine and saying this is going to change everything, and not have me freaking be like, "Where's the next episode?" Like, I need to know. I can't go another week without knowing. That's torture. It's torture.
To survive.
Will I though?
I think so.
Okay. So the next episode is called "The Calling." Any speculation? Jelly Baby.
Jelly Baby. There we go. We're gonna see Jelly Baby, probably.
Korra said, or Toph said, "Go find the spirit that brought you here," and that was freaking Jelly Leaf Baby. What is Jelly Baby?
He's a spirit.
It's like
he's a jelly bean spirit.
It's like a little. It's like a gourd. It's like a squash.
Yeah, he kind of looks
with a face and little arms, and little feet,
little non-functional arms and feet.
And leaf head wings. I don't understand, but I don't care because it's so cute.
It also could be the swamp calling to Jinora, telling her to come to it, which would be a way that they find Avatar quickly.
I never thought about that.
I just thought about that.
Because Aang did say that, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it feels like it's calling to me. Alright, so let us know in the comments what you guys thought of the episode, and what do you guys think of this crazy machine that Varric is developing. There can only be about infinity theories, so please write one down in the comment section. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.